What is up, everybody? I am live. Welcome to Destination Station. I'm just gonna like chill for a little bit until we get some people in here. Just decided to do this tonight. I have the night off, so I figured I'd do a surprise live stream for everybody. So I hope we get some people in here, and I'm going to talk about my experience with Texas Frightmare. Hopefully we get Rawhead Rex up in here, and he can remind me on a few things because he joined me that weekend. And yeah. Let's see here. All right. Just working on some audio right now. Just trying to get everything situated. I don't expect to have like a big turnout tonight because this was kind of a last minute decision, and I'm not usually going live at night, but I plan to change that very soon now that I have a lot more free time. Let's see here. I'm gonna wait for a little bit before I start getting into everything. Hopefully Rawhead Rex, my buddy Nick that joined me for Texas Frightmare, can join us, and maybe he can put some stuff in the chat or remind me about a few things that I might be missing, because we did have an absolute blast. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to like just talking about this because it's so much. I thought about just making a video. I do have a video on my channel of the Texas Frightmare weekend, so you can go back and look at that. It's about 20 minutes long or so. Doing pretty well on YouTube as well. Really great stuff. There's so much that is not in that video that we did, and that's what I want to go over tonight, is what's not in that video. What's up, Necessary? How you doing? Brother from another mother, sister from another mister. You doing all right tonight? I was over in Craven's chat earlier, and yeah, we were it's pretty fun time. Just kicking back tonight, just kind of chilling and doing this, and just gonna wait for some more people to join us before we get started. I plan on doing more live streams at night too, since I have a lot more free time now. And I'll go into that too later on in the stream. You know, kind of like a life update. So yeah. What's up, Aiden? How's it going, man? I plan on going over it here in just a little bit. Just waiting for some more people to join the chat. Jacqueline, how you doing? I didn't realize Craven was going to be going on tonight too. I could have possibly joined him, but I didn't let him know that I was free tonight. So it's all good. It's all good. It's kind of hard to compete with Craven. Such a great guy, great channel. So I don't blame y'all for being over there than over here at all. I kind of want to watch his stuff more than be on my own live stream too. That's good. That's good, Necessary. What's up, MJ? How you doing? How's your channel going and everything? Your podcast? Hope everything's good. Oh, okay, Aiden. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here to join. I can't sleep either. I'm kind of a night owl myself. So yeah, I've been working nights for like over 10 years until recently. So yeah, since I have all this free time now, it's like hard for me to go to sleep too. So I'm just kind of like up. So I might as well do these live streams, right? I might as well. That's good, Aiden. Cult of Craven. Yeah. Drink that Kool-Aid. Great stuff. Great stuff. How's everybody's night tonight? What's everybody been up to? What's new? I've been so out of the loop this week. Got so much going on. I got to go to a wedding this Saturday. Rehearsal dinners tomorrow night. And I've been in the process of selling my house, closing on it. So yeah, a lot of changes going on in my life. It's gonna be hell trying to move the destination station. Do you know that? That's gonna be. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Has anybody else been to any Comic Cons or any con conventions or horror conventions? And if you have, which ones do you recommend? Because I want to join more of them. The only ones I've been to is Texas Frightmare in Dallas. Nice, MJ. Heck yeah, congrats. Congrats. Uh, just keep going, man. Just hit record and create content and they will come. If you build it, they will come. You ever seen what's that movie back in the past? That baseball movie with Kevin Costner? Field of Dreams. If you record it, they will subscribe. Or at least they'll view it. They might not subscribe, but at least you'll get the views. Yeah, we are all night owls, aren't we? Yeah, a bunch of vampires. I'm okay with that. It's a lot more relaxing at night. Oh, you've been watching Scream a lot? Okay. The first one or the new one? I'm talking about Scream 5, Scream 2022. Yeah, Aiden, you got to go, man. You got to go. I mean, it's such a good experience, and I highly recommend that you get a hotel room instead of just going to it and then leaving or having a room off premises or something, because there's so many more benefits of having a room at the actual hotel, because that's where the stars stay. And at night after hours, when they're done signing and doing selfies and all that kind of stuff, they come down to the hotel bar or they go get something to eat at the restaurant that's there in the hotel. They're walking around. So yeah, they do try to take like like a side elevator and stuff like that, but they always you're going to end up running into them if you're staying at the hotel. So yeah, that's the best way to do it. So if you do go, remember that book in advance at the hotel. Field of Dreams, yeah, it is great movie, great movie. If you haven't seen Field of Dreams, check it out. It's fantastic. Yeah, MJ. Um, Jacqueline in a horror fest, but it's pretty small. Yeah, I hear a lot about Monster Mania. A lot of people talk about that. I need to check that out. Where's Monster Mania? Uh, I can't recall, but I see that all over YouTube and stuff like that. It seems like they get a good group of celebrities, and it seems like it's a good turnout. So yeah, Monster Mania is one I need to. There's actually a Comic Con that's like close to me. Like I live right outside the Memphis area, and it's like down in Mississippi somewhere. And I think like Christina Ricci and Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger, is going to be there along with other people. It doesn't seem like it's going to be very big, but there's at least a few people that I know. I was considering driving down there and checking it out. It's at the end of, it's like later on in June. I was thinking about doing that. So don't know yet. Might not do it. I got a lot going on right now. I don't know what I can really commit to. Necessary. You're saying I really hope I can come up with some money and make it. Yeah. Okay, so Monster Mania. Tell me more about this Monster Mania, because I really want to try to attend that too. So I'm gonna try to get more involved with Texas Frightmare too. I'm reaching out to the director and trying to get Mike Vaughn, that was on my channel that I interviewed the other day. He's really interested in doing like horror cons and stuff like that. So he's kind of like said that he would cut me in on some money and stuff like that if I book them, if I can get them booked. So I'm trying to make that happen. So yeah. Any which way, I just want to volunteer and network. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Uh, yeah, Aiden, get a hotel room for sure. MJ saw Scream 5 in theater, and I have it on DVD. 2 and Scream 3 a lot. But yeah, 1 is definitely the best. I always like I've made videos on like ranking the Scream franchise, and all roads lead. We're going to talk about Texas Frightmare. I promise you. I promise you. We're just getting comfortable. Okay, no rush. Glad everybody's here. Grab a drink, grab some popcorn, whatever you want to do. Just chill. And we'll get to it. But yeah, all roads lead to Woodsboro. So yeah, Scream 5. Yeah, I've watched it about 6 times now, and it's one of those that's it's an easy watch. It's not a perfect movie, but I do like it. I like it a lot actually, and I've been hearing recently that some people are starting to put it lower on their list than they were initially when it first came out. But I'm not one of them. I do acknowledge its flaws, but I think every sequel of the Scream franchise has its flaws. The only one that doesn't have hardly any flaws is that first one. Uh, so yeah, I mean, you can't top that. But I always like before the fifth one came out. I always liked them in the exact order. It was Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4. It was like I just did not 4 just did not speak to me. It just didn't. I didn't vibe with it. There was things I did like. I thought there was cool ideas, moments throughout the movie, but overall, I felt like it was too parody, and I thought that's what everybody was complaining about Scream 3. It went too comedy, and then everyone loved Scream 4, and I'm like, Scream 4 seemed like it was more comedy than Scream 3 to me, especially with that opening, especially with the Anthony Anderson saying, fuck Bruce Willis. I was just kind of like, what is going on here? And then it felt like a CW show with the sparkly cinematography. And yeah, it just wasn't, I don't hate it. I like it. It's probably the one that I watched the least. But I respect it because I see why people do like it. Wouldn't it be cool if all of us could go and meet? Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool if we got like a good YouTube community together and we all went to a con together. That'd be awesome. Oh, it's in New Jersey? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a little far from me, but I could make it happen. Nick, what's up, Rawhead Rex? My brother from another mother. Yeah, Rawhead's in the house. Nick, you're gonna have to guide me through this, man, and remind me. Give me some key points of what happened at Texas Frightmare because that's a weekend that I would never forget if I could only remember. That hunch punch got us, man. I think it got Blade too. We got drunk Blade too. So we're gonna get all into that. It has begun. What are you, Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat? It has begun. Now it's gonna be stuck in my head. Yeah, Jacqueline, Christina Ricci, 90s Con, but she had to pull out for filming. Oh, wow. Didn't she sign on for the Netflix Adams Family film? There's a new Adams Family film, and I think Jenna Ortega is actually playing Wednesday. Tara from Scream 5. But I did see that Christina Ricci also signed on for it. So I don't know if she's going to have a cameo and if she's going to be, another, like an older sister or part of the family. I don't know how significant her role is going to be in it, but I'm glad she's coming back. Oh, okay. Yeah. Bearded was telling me about that. Yep. Okay. So it's in August, huh? I may be able to make that. I'm moving in July, so it depends on how quick I can get settled. And um, yeah, just keep me in the loop with that and remind me about it. Tickets are still on sale and everything, right? They're not like sold out, are they? Oh, okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, speaking of that, yeah, that's a big possibility. I do need to get a mod because somebody was spamming my interview with Mike Vaughn the other day, and yeah. But YouTube is putting me through some crazy stuff. They will not monetize. I was monetized, and then I got kicked out of monetization, and then I reached out to them to wonder why, because I meet all the community standards and got the watch hours, I got everything, and they said that they can't see much on their end. It's very limited of what they can see. So I've just sent them a big email because then I reapplied and I still didn't get monetized. So I'm like missing out on a lot of money. Uh, so it's all good though. I do this. I do this just because I like to. It's not about the money, but YouTube is getting really greedy these days. I'll tell them. I'll say that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. You got to find other ways. So the only other way I can think about like supporting my channel or doing anything at this point is I put like my Cash App and Venmo in the description of the videos, and especially this stream as well. So if anybody wants to support or anything like that, just let me know, and I'll definitely acknowledge you in the videos and all that kind of stuff. But as of now, I'm not. They're giving me the runaround right now, so I'm just waiting to hear back from them. But yeah, I do need to get some mods. That's for sure. Definitely. All right, I'm getting lost in the chat here. Nick, you're at 100% right, man. It did, man. It was like, even if you watch Scream 2 and when they kill Randy, it's like there's a dip. There's like a tone shift, which we do need to feel that death, when it's a significant person, just like when Dewey died. It's just, but there's something in Scream 2. If you rewatch it, I love Scream 2, but it's one of those that's like, I don't know, like I feel like the structure of the movie, it's like there's like peaks and I feel like there's some editing problems as well, as far as like what time of day it is, what day is it, because it goes from like day and night, soon after like Randy dies and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, it just seemed kind of I don't know, just not messy, but just kind of like off a little bit. I just noticed that, and that's me nitpicking. I'm not mad about it. Tell them about Drunk Blade, boss. Tell them about the gun line, boss. All right, Nick. Will do, will do. Should I start off with that, or should I just start off from like the beginning? Or should I do the whole Pulp Fiction method and start at the end, go back and forth, all that crap? I'm going to. We're about to get started. We're about to get started for sure. Hold on one second. Yo. Hey. I'm live right now. Destin's asleep upstairs. All right. You never been a mod? Mod life. Have y'all seen those new what do you the audition or anything about that guy who's supposedly supposed to play Derek for the new Scream film, and then it got cut, it got taken down from YouTube? That's crazy. I wonder. I think it's real. Some people think it's not real, but I think it's real. But did he get the part? That's the thing, or is that just one audition? That's what I'm wondering. That there's going to be more auditions for that part. All right, I'll start off with the whole blade thing, like Nick said. Like that's a pretty interesting. Do you want me to say everything that happened with the blade thing, Nick? Because you might have to answer to some of that. Uh, you just let me know, buddy. So here's the thing: is like, okay, so me and Nick, uh, Rawhead Rex over here, we go out to Texas Frightmare, and we pre-made some hunch punch in this cooler, and well, we got a room, we got settled. We didn't get a room till Saturday night, and so we were like, you know, finally the first night, Friday night, we had to sleep in our car because I couldn't. There was no rooms available for Friday night, so I had Saturday and Sunday booked, but not Friday. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to lose our parking spot. I didn't want to leave or anything like that because it's a madhouse. So I just stayed put, and I just said, "Hey, I guess we're just gonna sleep in our car for the night or whatever," and it sucked. It sucked. I will. It was awful. I will plan ahead, way months ahead, to make sure that we have rooms for every single night. But Saturday night, when we got settled, we went down to my car and got the hunch punch, and we were going up. For one thing, the cooler was leaking, and I was hoping that nobody was going to notice because it was so filled. It was like filled to the rim. And so I'm dragging it, and I'm leaving this trail of fruit punch punch through the lobby all the way to the elevator. And I'm looking down, and I see people walking off through it. But nobody's noticed. Nobody's noticed. So get in the elevator, it's dripping. I'm like, damn. I'm like, they're going to follow this trail all the way back to my room. Luckily, it didn't happen. But on the way, we run into this guy that dressed up like Blade. I mean, really good outfit. Like he's into cosplay. He looks dope as shit, you know. But and if you want any more insight or anything like that, follow me on my Instagram. There's photos of stuff that's happened and stuff like that. So I got a lot of that. So if you want any kind of behind the scenes visuals or anything, watch that or go back and watch the Texas Frightmare video that's on my channel. But so we just tell Blade, I don't even know his real name, but we just tell Blade that you want some hunch punch. He's like, yeah. So he gets some hunch punch. He follows us back to our room, and he just starts drinking a lot of hunch punch. He starts drinking a lot. I mean, one after the other. And he did make the comment that he is an alcoholic or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. As long as you're not trying to drink blood, Blade, we're good. So I had another friend that was with us, Robbie, and he's not really big into horror. He was just kind of hanging out with us and for Saturday night, and yeah, Nick, 3 grand, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It put Blade on his ass, and so we're drinking and everything, and so next thing you know, Blade gets a little weird. He starts really getting into character, and he my buddy Robbie, he's all dressed up. He's thinking that we're gonna go hang out down at the hotel bar and everything. And Blake gets really into character and pulls out his sword. It's a fake sword, but it's still like this sword. And he just starts doing all these moves and stuff like that on my buddy. And and he's just like, hey man, he's like trying to block all the moves, and he's just like, hey, cut the shit out, Blade. And Blade just keeps going at him with this sword. He's like, Destin, get this son of a bitch. And next thing you know, like Blade just like lands on his ass up against the bed, at the foot of the bed, and he's just like still like doing this thing with his sword every time we walk by, like he's like trying to cut our feet or our ankles or our legs or something. And so I'm like, you need a drink, Blade? He's like, yeah. So I get him a little cup, and I'm walking back, and I'm trying to hand it to him, and he's got like these fake fangs in his mouth. And like I say, he's in character, right? And every time I'm trying to hand it to him, he's like trying to bite my hand. I'm like, all right, dude, cut the act, cut. And next thing you know, he just kind of passes out on the floor. I thought he was dead. We tried to wake him up for a long time. We were shaking him. We were, hey man, you got to go. It's time to go. Um, we could not wake him up. We considered picking him up and just kind of like throwing him in the hallway, but you know, I don't want to do that. Who knows what could have happened to him? But vampires were safe on Saturday night, that's for sure. Because Blade was on that hunch punch. Um, it's crazy. Uh, yeah. um, yeah. Nick, you want me to say what else happened with Blade? Yeah, I got to get his okay for this. Oh man, it's crazy. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just so funny. Just like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Okay. So, so sometime in the middle of the night. Okay. I got the okay from Nick. All right. So, so Nick's in the other bed, and I'm in this one, and Blade just like wakes up in the middle of the night. It's really early in the morning. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, and just takes off his pants. And he's only got the Blade vest on. It just like dives into Nick's bed. Nick, I've never seen Nick jump out of bed so quick in his life. And we, he's like, Destin, I'm going to get some coffee downstairs. And and we're like, hey man, you gotta go. Hey, and we're still trying to wake him up, butt ass naked, only with the vest on. Still cannot wake him up. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. And um so later on in the morning, um my buddy Robbie, he's just like, he's like, don't leave me or I'm leaving him in here with all your stuff. And I'm just like, all right, so I'll stay there. Next thing you know, like a couple hours later, Blade wakes up. He's like, where the fuck am I? And he's like looking around. Who? What? You guys are cool. Y'all took care of me. Oh man, I left my baby mama downstairs. She probably thinks I'm off with some girl or something, and my phone's dead, and I have no idea what happened last night. How did I get in this room? And then dude like just stands up, takes his vest off, butt naked, and just starts stretching, like morning stretching. And like it's just the norm. Like, hey dude, like it's time to go. Like it's time to go. And then I thought he was getting ready to leave, but next thing you know, I hear the shower running. He just takes his shower, takes it upon himself just to take a shower. I'm just like, all right, whatever. Let him take a shower. And he gets out, and then he's like wanting to take my Jack Daniels bottle that I have that's like pretty much full. And I'm just like, I pour him like a little bit of a cup, and I'm like, all right, dude, here's one for the road. All right, get. And he finally left, and and he's like, man, I gotta find a charger. And I lost my charger as well, so I needed a charger too. But I hear him knocking on doors all the way down the hallway asking for chargers. Then he came back to our room and was like knocking, and I just didn't answer. I was just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done babysitting. It's over. But yeah, poor Nick. Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry, Nick. I was messing with Nick the next morning. I was like, man, Nick had a one night stand with Blade. Oh, it was funny though. Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. Trying to catch up here on the chat. Kind of got lost in that story. Yeah. Experience it was probably a lot more funnier than me talking about it right now. But yeah, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. Um, yeah, that was Hunch Punch. It was wild. Uh, let's see here. Oh no, we killed Blade. I thought so. I thought Blade was dead because he was not moving at all. I had to like check and make sure he was breathing and everything. Oh man, it was crazy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you saw the video of him passed out. Yeah. Yeah. You go check that video out. There's glimpses of what happened, but it's not the whole thing. There's certain things I cannot put on the internet, especially when my YouTube channel will not get monetized. Damn it, YouTube. Uh, yeah, it was crazy. Aiden. Oh wow. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that dude that was Blake. Look, so okay, so the next morning me and Nick are have been drinking and hanging out with Lance Henriksen from the Alien films, Pumpkinhead. You know him from a bunch of movies, you know, throughout the years. But he was there signing and and we were talking to him about it, about what happened, and we showed him a picture of Blade passed out in our room. He goes, hey man, I saw that son of a bitch downstairs when I was signing. I said, who the hell is that guy? He said, I would have thrown that son of a bitch off the balcony. Lance is awesome. Lance is great. Also hung out with Robert Englund. I plan on getting into all that as well. Yeah, we had a great time. Great time. Sunday was actually the best time. We were actually considering calling it quits and heading home on Sunday because we were just tired and worn out. And Sunday ended up being the best day of the weekend to me, anyways, because we got to hang out with like Lance and Robert Englund at our table for like almost 4 hours, just telling stories and taking advice from them and listening to, you know, them talk to each other. They're obviously friends, and they're hilarious. They're just like dirty old men swapping stories and giving us guidance, like how to be successful and what to do, and not to take life so seriously and do what we love, you know. And yeah, it really spoke to us a lot, especially Robert Englund. Like, I'm a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan, and I could never meet Robert Englund at Texas Frightmare. It was the line was every time I try to attempt. They even capped off the line the night before the next day's signing because they had him in a room by himself, like on the other end of the hotel. And so, because they knew that he was going to draw a big crowd, so they didn't want him with the other guest there because it was already going to be crowded as it is. So they wanted him to be off on his own down the hallway. But long story short, I could never get in his line. It was always capped off, and I was like, man, I guess I lost my opportunity. Sunday, I was kind of bummed. I think that's why I was kind of wanting to leave too. And me, Nick, and Lance were just sitting there at the hotel bar at a table, just you know, having a beer and talking like we've been doing for like 3 days with Lance. And next thing you know, the convention's over at like 5 o'clock. Next thing you know, Robert Englund just walks up to our table to Lance and says, hey, I'm going to get a drink. Can I pull up a chair right here? We're like right next to me. It was like right in between Lance and me. He pulls up a chair, and I get like, you don't even have to ask. Yes, you can sit with us. And it was so surreal. It was awesome. It was like, wow. Like, it it's corny as it sounds. It was like fate almost, like, because I did not get to meet him, and he was the main reason why I wanted to go to Texas Frightmare, was to meet him and the Screamcast. Like, I'm a big Wes Craven fan. If you're, you know, if you're subscribed to my channel, you already know that. But like, Robert Englund is like he's like the godfather of horror, pretty much. You know, like, that's the way I look at it. At least he's like one of the main Mount Rushmore of the horror icons. And so, like, him pulling up a chair, and then somebody that was at our table, I can't remember who it was, but just started buying like wine bottles and champagne, and we were just popping bottles with Lance and Robert Englund, and it just turned into like 3.5 hours of just us like just having fun and just talking. And like, Robert Englund was like giving me advice on life and what to do, and where to go, where to vacation, telling me about stuff that happened way back in his past, and just, you know, just really really just talking to me like almost like a dad. Like, he was like hanging on me and grabbing me by the shoulder, and it was just weird. And like, you know, there started to become a lot of people around our table, and it started getting really distracting. And but me and Robert were like I'm on a first name basis. What the hell? But like me and Robert Englund were like one on one, just talking to each other, like and not really a part of any conversation. Yeah, we did like have conversations with everybody else, but it was just like, you know, I talked to him about Nathan Basil from, you know, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, because, you know, Robert Englund was in that, playing a character that was similar to Dr. Loomis from the Halloween films. And, you know, I talked to him about that. I talked to him about Freddy versus Jason, about Kane not being able to play Jason. And, you know, Kane's obviously hurt about it. Got more insight about that. I'll talk about that too. Like, he told me the true story why Kane did not get the part for Freddy versus Jason. It's not the same story that Kane is always, you know, talking about. No, not knocking on Kane, because Kane's awesome. But, you know, I guess since we're right here, I'll go ahead and tell you about that. Okay, so he told me, like, what Kane told me back in September, because I met him back in September, and I've watched his documentaries, and I've seen a lot of stuff about, you know, how he feels about how the studio did not let him play Jason in the Freddy versus Jason movie, and that was like something that he really wanted to do. And so Kane, his story is that he was told by the studio and Ronnie Yu, who is the director, that he already had the part. Like they were going to let him know when to start filming and all this kind of stuff. And he said they just went and started filming without him and didn't tell him anything. That's his side of the story, is that they just did not say that they weren't going to cast him or anything. He said that they told him he had the part, and they were going to let him know when they were going to start filming. And he never heard anything back from the studio. And next thing you know, he heard that they were already filming somewhere, and he was hurt. It was like he's really hurt by this, because and you know, I sympathize with him, you know, because I really think that would have elevated that movie, because the Jason that played in that movie was like more like a Frankenstein character, and Kane is more of a physical character. He breathes real heavy and all that. And I really think that Freddy versus Jason would have been a lot better if we would have got that Kane versus Robert type of movie. But after talking to Robert, you know, he says he loves Kane to death, but he says that Kane actually screwed himself on that deal. He said he knows that Kane's on his soapbox about, you know, everything that happened. But the thing is that they kept making offers to Kane, and Kane kept rejecting it and wanting more money for the part. And he said that it happened at least 5 times, and he just kept rejecting it. And he felt like he deserved more money, like he was like an A-list star. And so after like the 5th rejection, he said that they just decided to go with somebody else. They're what's his name? Kensington or something, that played Jason. He came in to be a stunt coordinator for the film, and Ronnie Yu, he's never seen any of the Jason movies really, and so when he looked up, he saw this big, huge guy that was going to be the stunt coordinator, and they needed a Jason. They needed a Jason because Kane kept rejecting the offers, and he just said, "You're my Jason," and that's how he got that part. And it wasn't that they told Kane he did have the part. They wanted Kane to be a part of it. That's who they wanted, but Kane kept rejecting the offers that they were giving. So Kane pretty much screwed himself on that deal. So he really can only blame himself. I understand that he's hurt about it, but you know, you got to take some accountability, you know. And when you hear these stories, you know, with anybody, you know, there's you know, there's one person's side, the other person's side, and then there's the truth, right? You know, there's always 3 sides to every story. That's the way I look at it. So, but not knocking against Kane. You know, it does suck. I wish he got his shine for it, but you know, it didn't happen. So that's that little story. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? Um, yeah, Nick yelled raw head. Nick's thinking about starting his own YouTube channel, and he needs to call it Rawhead something. Give him some ideas. What should be his channel whenever he starts his channel up? Huh? Yeah, poor Nick. Oh man, it was funny. I'm sorry, buddy. Uh, yeah, nothing like naked morning yoga. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. He's like, yeah, guys, I'm from San Francisco and I'm not used to Southern hospitality, and you guys are great. Thank you for taking care of me. I'm just like, no problem, dude. No problem. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, it was Jacqueline. It was amazing. I mean, it was like it felt like fate. It felt like fate because I did not get to see Robert at all. And I even told Robert that I said, "Hey, I've been trying to see you for like 3 days, and it's just even though that we had VIP passes, which I'll get into that how we obtained VIP passes because we really only had general admission. Uh, it was still capped off for VIPs, like even though we had these line skips, and I was just like, oh, man. And I told Robert that I was like, man, I haven't been able to see you all for 3 days, and I said I could never get into your line, and he grabbed me by the shoulder and he says, well, you're getting it now, Destin, and I was just like, okay, cool, and I was like, I looked over at Nick and I said, I'm not moving out of this seat no matter how much I have to take a piss. I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm staying right here. Because there was a crowd that started surrounding our table, and like it was kind of getting almost to the point to where it was obnoxious because one guy pulls up with a cart full of stuff for Robert to sign, which was like, dude, he's off the clock, and Robert England was charging $120 an autograph, and this guy was getting stuff for free. And it was just like, and me and Nick were looking at each other like, dude, do not ruin this experience right now. Don't run this guy off just because you want all your stuff signed. And everyone was like almost like leaning over us and leaning over the table just to talk to Robert. And I almost got like, hey, I wanted to say piss off. Like y'all are like being like really pushy and disrespectful, and all he wants to relax. The convention's over, and I think, me personally, the experience and spending time with these guys and getting to know them is more valuable to me than an autograph or a selfie or anything like that. Yeah, I would like to get a picture with these guys, and I did, but I could have tried to get my stuff signed. There was stuff that I want signed that's up there on that this shelf over here of like New Nightmare Freddy and all this kind of stuff, and like I just was like, that's not important to me at this moment. What's important to me is getting to know you, just being a part of your life right now, like sharing knowledge. Like that's what I valued more. And so yeah, but everybody else, they're just looking to get signatures and just bombarding them, and it's just like these guys are just trying to have a good time, and maybe doing one or two, but like you pull up with a freaking cart full of stuff and you're wanting him to sign it all, like that's just ridiculous, man. Like I don't know, how do y'all feel about that? Like I don't know. Like I I like getting signatures and all that kind of stuff, but it's I'd rather have the experience. That's just me. Yeah, his line was insane. His line was really insane. Um, Drunk Freddy was the best thing ever. He started getting like loud and doing that Freddy laugh, and like he would like do these, like he'd get up, like you could tell whenever he was starting to feel it. Like he was like doing that that Freddy laugh, and it was just so funny. It was like, dude, this is awesome. This is awesome. It's just like we're like shooting the shit at some friends. You know what I mean? Robert and Lance are the older versions of me and you, bro. They are goofy as hell. You know what? You're right, Nick. They are. They are. That's gonna be us when we're old, buddy. Uh, it was crazy. Uh, Kenneth, what's up, man? Glad you're here. No, I did not at the bat. You mean the ball, right? Ah, why are you talking about old stuff, man? Yeah. Uh, no, I did not fall asleep this time. And if I did, Freddie would have haunted my dreams. So that was a good reason to stay awake. Yeah, you did. You definitely did, Nick. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. And I think Nick was getting irritated there for a little bit, and I can understand why. But now looking back at it, it's pretty funny. I think he finds it funny too. I went downstairs, sat with Lance, and told him about it. He joked and laughed. So yeah, Lance is so cool. Lance is absolutely awesome. Like, I hope he's there again next year because it was cool. It was cool. He's definitely like, instead of getting like going through a line and getting 3 minutes of time with these celebrities, Robert England or Lance or something like that, and getting something signed and maybe getting you know, being one out of 1,000 people, we got like hours worth of just hanging out with them. And that's what was cool about it. I have no idea necessarily. I have no idea why they will not monetize. And I'll say this too, like for anybody that wasn't in here earlier, like YouTube is giving me the runaround about monetization, and I'm meeting all the community guidelines. I got the watch hours, I got the subscribers, I got everything is checked off and looks positive and good. And I have applied twice, and they have denied me both times with no explanation. So I have reached out to them, and I can reapply in 30 days. And I think you only get 3 tries, or you have to like wait 6 months or a year or something like that. I don't know. But hopefully I get some answers soon. It's kind of ridiculous. I feel like they look for reasons to not monetize you. They're getting really greedy. But if you do want to support Destination Station, you want to support me and help me make more content, and anything that you do, support me on, I always put it back. I buy equipment, I buy better gear. I have a lot more time now to where I can do live streams. So, but the only thing I can think about doing is putting my Cash App or Venmo in the description of my live streams and every video that I make, and y'all can support me that way. Until I get this YouTube thing figured out, but it's going to be at least 30 days before that happens, or unless I get a response, an answer from YouTube. I'm waiting on the email back. So I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. It's kind of frustrating because I was monetized and then they kicked me out, and I don't know what I did. And when I asked them, they said that it's very limited on their side, that they cannot see. All they can tell me is to reapply again. So I reapplied again, and then I got denied again. And so, yeah, it's like you're denying me for nothing. So I don't know. I'm puzzled on it, but it is frustrating. Okay, Nick. He said he'd been eating edibles on top of drinking. He was his own worst enemy. He defeated himself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Blake did say that. That's right. I didn't hear him say that, but I remember you telling me he said that. Yeah. So yeah, that's what knocked him on his ass. Cody, when the ghost faces killed Tatum, wouldn't you have smelled the beer on the killer at the party if it was Stu or Billy, or do you think there was another killer at the party? That is a good point. That's a very good point. I'm sure they had more than one costume. But also, I mean, it would be on the costume, but I don't know about on the persons. And I think it was Billy that killed Tatum, honestly. I think it was Billy before he showed up at that front door. So we see Stu pretty much mingling with everybody, you know, uh, at the party, so I don't think he would be the one that would smell like beer. But I'm pretty sure there was more than one costume. And then on top of it, if you recall, Billy was like, well, no, he was wearing a white tee. I was about to say he had a different outfit on whenever he showed up at Stu's house, but no, he did. He just had a flannel over it. So, yeah, that's a great point. Maybe there's a third killer. Maybe Roman helped out. Maybe he was there. Who knows? Yeah, he was. Catching up on the chat. Sorry, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. Go ahead and like this video. It helps out the channel a lot. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining me tonight. You know, if you want more live streams, let me know too, because like I said, I got a lot more free time on my hand, and I plan on going live more often. I like these. His line was insane. Took me about 4.5 hours to get to him, and I was 54th in line the first day. Yeah, there were some people that were standing in line the day before and didn't get to see him and had to stay in line and sleep in the line to see him the next morning. It was insane for Robert. I'm telling you. Robert, Brad Dourif, who else? Nev Campbell and Matthew Lillard. Those four were insane. Yeah, it was nuts. Bro, it was fate. We've been talking about meeting these people since we were kids. We were living the effing dream. We definitely were, buddy. We definitely were. And hopefully we get to do it again. I mean, because they definitely have to. We're not just like the 54th person in line. We were hanging out with him for hours. So yeah, I mean, people started like surrounding us and just taking pictures at the bar, like at the table, just towards the table, like, and just trying, and everyone kept just like buying more drinks and putting them right there on the table. So me and Nick, we were just like, don't mind if we do, we'll just pour us a little bit. So yeah, right place, right time, right? Yeah, it was amazing. I'm gonna head out because I got to be outside for 6 hours straight, 90-degree weather, and jeans. Oh man, yeah, I understand, Aiden. Have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Yeah, hydrate. It's supposed to be hot. It was, Jacqueline. It was amazing. Good night, Aiden. I don't know if Nick, will you ever recover from that night? I'll never forget it. Let's see. Nick, Robert, Lance, Brian were locked in. There were a bunch of people, but us 5 stayed focused on each other. Yeah. Brian was there too. That's another buddy that we met down there. And yeah, he was there. He had to leave a little early because he had to catch a flight. But I'm glad we stayed Sunday night. We didn't leave till Monday morning. So yeah, that was great. Lance got really drunk. He got really drunk. He had to get carried off to his room. I just lost in the chat. Where was I? I know Robert England told me, he says, go to Portugal, Destin. Go to Portugal. And I'm just like, he's like, it's beautiful. And you're going to take 2 days and realize what you want to do for the rest of your life. And he did. He gave me like all these like insights on like how to get successful and how family can be negative when towards like what you want to do, you know. And he asked me, he's like, what are you in? You're like in your 30s. I was like, yeah, I just turned 36. And he's like, and you live in, and I told him, you know, I lived in the Memphis area. He said, get the fuck out of Memphis, Destin. You're never going to be shit there. You got to go to Atlanta. You got to go to Dallas. You got to go to LA. You got to go to somewhere. There's nothing happening in Memphis. Memphis used to be a good spot for things, but not anymore. And I was like, and he was just like looking at me dead in my eyes. He was like grabbing me by the shoulder, getting serious, like, get the fuck out of Memphis. And I was like, yes, sir. Oh, it was crazy. uh, yeah, yeah. I didn't really. I don't know. It was like it's still like I'm still processing it all. But yeah, you and Robert were for sure bonded, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, you and Lance too. Yeah, Nick and Lance. Yeah, they shared old Navy stories. They were both in the Navy. That's kind of what set it off was that Lance noticed Nick's Navy hat, and I got lost from Nick. I was like downstairs doing something. I think I was hanging out with Bearded, and I knew that we just met Brian, but I'm not good with names. Like we just met him, and that was a guy that Nick met off of Facebook, and that was a part of the Texas Frightmare. And I was downstairs with Bearded, and then I text Nick. I'm like, "Where you at?" And he's like, "I'm upstairs at the bar with Lance." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I go up there. I thought Brian was Lance, and then when I get to the table, it's Lance freaking Hendrickson, and I'm like, "Whoa, dude! Like, you got to let me know more than that in a text. Like, be more specific." So yeah, so I sat down with them, and we just started talking. There was a group of people in the table next to us, and they kind of like were like leaned in a little bit, listening to Lance, and we were just all talking and sharing stories. And after Lance had to go back downstairs to because he was just there to eat or whatever, and he had to go back down to sign. Um, they just said, "Hey, we got something for y'all," and this lady just reaches into her purse and just brings out these VIP passes and these line skips and all this stuff, and says, "We want y'all to have it. We have two extras, and two people didn't show up, and we've been trying to figure out who to give it to, and y'all seem really like cool guys." And I was like, "Whoa, are you serious? You don't have to do that." And it was just like that happened on our first day on Friday. I was like, "Thank you. This is awesome. Like I appreciate this so much." I mean, it made our weekend because like you can get an hour early before anybody else. You get to skip like up to 5 lines. There's a bunch of little stuff that you can get with the VIP passes. There's like little like 90s stew party at night, and then there's like this thing called Scarioke on another night, and we don't have to pay to get into that, and that was like 15-20 bucks each night that we didn't have to spend. So yeah, much appreciated that we got that. So yeah, it was like that happened, hanging out with Lance for a few days. And then Sunday with hanging out with Robert, man, it was crazy. It was like, man, this is like the best weekend. Like we had like the best luck. It was unreal. Um, yeah, Rawhead Nick. That needs to be his channel's name. Uh, if I can get the Rawhead gimmick in my channel name, that'd be dope. You can do it, man. You can do it, man. Man, y'all could have stole. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right, man. He did make that. When Blade woke up, he said, "Man, y'all could have stole my money, my wallet. But y'all didn't. Y'all some angels, bro." Yeah, dude. Not gonna rob you. Oh man, that dude was a trip. Uh, I remember holding my piss for an hour and a half because I was not giving up my seat. I know, man. There was one time I just couldn't handle it anymore. I could not handle it. We were like a couple hours in, and I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I was like, "Nick, sit on both chairs or something." I don't remember what I told you, but I was like, "Save my seat because it's getting crowded around us, and I do not want someone stealing my seat." Um, so yeah. Uh, I did not get an autograph from him, but I did get a picture with him, and we, I mean, yeah, all my stuff was upstairs in my hotel room, so I did not get anything autographed. I think Nick did. Yeah, 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 didn't you get? Yeah, you got some autographs because you were able to get into his line, and I guess I just waited too long, and I was going to see the screencast and uh, uh, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors cast and stuff like that. So yeah, let me talk about that for a second. Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah. It was great. It was great. The energy was great. Um, so let me talk about this for a second. Okay, so here's a little story about me and how I got into horror, and it has to do with Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, Kincaid, which is Ken Sagios. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. But Kincaid from Dream Warriors. Okay, so I was 5, and I was sitting on the couch, and this was my introduction to Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street and horror in general. And this is what got me really hooked. Um, and that's why Freddy's always been like I always say, Freddy was my Batman growing up. I would rather watch Nightmare on Elm Street growing up than the Batman movies. All the kids love Batman growing up, but Freddy was my Batman. And crazy kid, right? So I remember this because I got the ass whooping of my life. It was the first ass whooping I remember getting from my parents. And I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master, and the part where Kincaid is in the junkyard with the cars and everything, and Freddy just comes to life by dog piss, which is crazy. You rewatch that now and you're like, what the hell was the writers thinking? But anyways, Kincaid drops a car on Freddy and it lands on Freddy and he goes, yeah, take that, motherfucker. And me being 5, I yelled that on the couch. I was like, take that, motherfucker. And I hear my parents, hey, what are you watching? They come in there, they turn it off, and my dad whooped me. And I was like, I don't think it was like bad or anything, but like it was memorable because I felt really bad for saying it and everything. And so the first person I went to was Ken from Dream Warriors. I went straight to his line, and I was like, I gotta go talk to this guy and tell him about he's the reason why I got my ass whooped. So I do. I think I was the first person in his line, and so I'm telling him, and he's like, "What?" He said, "You hear this guy? You trying to blame me for his ass whooping?" Oh man, he's great. I actually got a video with him. Also, it should be on my Instagram. It's definitely on my YouTube channel. I have an opening because I did get him. He did, like hang out for a little bit, and we talked for some stuff. He actually asked me to be a part of a documentary. He's looking for people to be a part of this horror documentary about his life and all this kind of stuff. So I told him I would. So still waiting on him to reach out to me and give me more details about that. But we did swap information, so that was cool. Same thing with Jamie Kennedy. When I went through his line, I talked to him for a little bit, and I told him that I've emailed him before about coming on my show and doing an interview. Talked to him for a little bit, and he gave me a lot. He gave me his actual personal information and said, "Yeah, I'll come. I'll do a live stream on your channel, dude." And then he said, "Dude, like, I told him about my What Would Randy Do video. I made like a video specifically for Randy and like what he would do if he was still alive in the Scream franchise." And he supported me. He was like, subscribe to Destination Station and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool talking to him for a little bit too. So yeah. Those are like two of the first people I really interacted with. Oh, also Devin Sawa. Devin Sawa was really cool. I was probably like the second person. He was late getting to his booth, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go through Devin Sawa's line because I'm a big fan of him. And he's in the Chucky show. He was in Final Destination. He was in Idle Hands. He was in a bunch of movies when we were kids. He was like the live version of Casper, and my wife, actually, that was like, I've always known that like when she was young, she had a big crush on Devin Sawa. And Nick, right. It's just weird hearing Freddie say something like that, right? Drunk Freddie. So where was I? Yeah, so Devin was, I went up to him, talked to him about it, and I felt kind of bad because I haven't finished the Chucky series. Like I'm like on the 6th or 7th episode, and I was kind of like, I wanted to rewatch the whole entire thing because I've kind of forgotten key parts and stuff. but I knew he played twins in it, and I knew that his twin brother died or whatever, and there was another part of him in there. And so first thing I asked him is like, I'm saying, is there any chance, like Chucky season 2 just got renewed? Are you coming back? He goes, oh, well, have you seen it? And I was like, yeah, I've seen it. And he goes, oh, well, I died twice. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. But I didn't see that part, but I didn't tell him that. And uh, so I was like, hey, can you do me a favor? Because my wife could not come to Frightmare. I was like, will you FaceTime my wife and let's just surprise her real quick? He's like, yeah, man, no problem at all. So like, I just, surprised my wife with like, FaceTiming my wife, and she was just like chilling on the couch, and you know, she thought it was me calling her, and it was actually Devin. He just like, hey, Liz, and she's just like, oh my god, freaking out and everything. She's like, it was just really cool. I knew that would catch her off guard. So yeah, it was really cool. I figured she'd appreciate that. Seriously though, the stark similarities between Robert and Lance and us and Destin is what hit me the hardest. I know, man. Their sense of humor, the way they just like were goofy together, like it was us, dude. It was us. Uh, yeah. So yeah. Nick will sometimes be on my live streams and videos and stuff like that. And you'll see, like me and him, we're like brothers. We are brothers in my eyes. And we just get real goofy. uh, it was great. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Asking to sign one thing would be fine, but a whole cart of stuff, no. I know, man. I know. And the dude was like not even subtle about it. He was just like interrupted everything just to get up on like almost like get up on Robert like right here and put it right in front of him, like like to where he couldn't say no. It's like, yeah, sign it and get the hell out of here. But then he started like handing another thing and handing another thing and handing another. I was like, dude, piss off, man. Like, or offer to pay or something. Like, they do this for a living, man, and you're getting all this for free. Um, so yeah, it was ridiculous. And then that dude started having some issues as well. So, anyways, funniest part for me when Trump Blade tried giving me a double leg takedown, and I almost had to choke him out. Dude, I vaguely remember that. I guess I was just I was a little bit gone at that point, but I do remember like because Blade was doing all them like moves with his sword towards Robbie, and so I guess maybe he was trying to do those Blade kung fu moves, and then Nick had to like put him on his ass, and it was crazy. It was completely insane. Yeah. Yeah. There somebody, I mean, bodyguards and stuff like that did come up, and like Robert's wife, which Robert Englund's wife is named Nancy. That's kind of weird, right? Because of Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street, Heather Langenkamp. But yeah, they had to come up, and but they were like, no, these guys are cool, y'all can relax, and they stepped away. But it just kind of, the more the drinks were flowing, the more people started realizing that he was in the room, because at first it was real like nobody really knew, and then once people started seeing, everyone started just getting like really crowded. Then Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich came downstairs. The grandpa, I can't remember his name, from Texas Chainsaw Massacre came downstairs. Bill Moseley came downstairs and started talking to Robert, and it was like Bill Moseley was a fan of Robert's and was like coming up and just saying hi to Robert, even though Bill Moseley was downstairs signing too. I guess he was just kind of like, man, my contacts are kind of bothering me right now. But I guess he was just kind of like saying, hey, how you doing? I'm a big fan, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was crazy. It was like, man, we are like in the perfect spot. Like, so me and Nick are probably in a bunch of people's photos because they were just taking pictures from across the room of all of us at the table. It was crazy. Let's see here. I know, Nick, I should have been monetized a while ago. It's crazy, man. It kind of pisses me off a little bit because they're not giving me an explanation, and they're saying they don't know why. So it's like, I heard that the bots can pick up on certain things, like, but I don't know what they could be picking up on. At least give me a reason why so I can correct it, right? You know, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, again, if you want to support this channel, I do, you know, I'm not expecting anything, but it's the only way that I can make money off of YouTube or anything is if you want to support me or support this channel. My Cash App and my Venmo link are in the description of this stream, and I will put that from now on in videos and my live streams and stuff like that until I get this situation taken care of. So yeah, so yeah, they reject you while they pay. The MJ channel is alive for their lives. Yeah. Oh my God, that's why they slept in line. Yeah, Jacqueline, they did. It was insane. Like I walked downstairs because I was like, I don't know. I think I was just walking around, you know, late at night, and there's just a lot of people just like laying out in the floor, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? And they're just like, oh, this is Robert's line. It got capped off today, and so we're just going to sleep here so we can actually get in tomorrow. And then the next morning, I think I was up at like 8:30, 8 o'clock. I was up and moving, and it was capped off again. And I was like, whoa. I was like, well, I'm VIP and I have a skip line. And they were like, it doesn't matter. Even that's capped. I'm like, damn. So I just said, all right, well, I just threw in the towel and was just like, I guess I'm not going to be able to meet Robert Englund. Went to the Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors panel, and that was very interesting, and listened to a bunch of stories. And I was just like, man, he just seems like a cool guy. And then magic happened, fate. And I asked him, I said, Robert, I said, what if they do another Freddy versus Jason? What if they do another Nightmare on Elm Street? Would you come back? Or do you want it to just move on with somebody else? And he said, what's it going to be? Freddy versus Viagra? He's funny. I'm telling you, he's funny. Like, I'm sure he would come back, you know. He's in the business to make money, but the makeup, his age, he's not in the greatest shape to play Freddy. If you ever watched that Goldberg's episode, it was called like Mr. Knifey Hands or Fingers or something like that. It came out like 2 years ago on for Halloween. It was like a Halloween special. It didn't look right. I don't know if that's on him or if it's on the makeup artist, but you know, not everybody's gonna be able to stay in their prime, you know. But if they do make another Nightmare on Elm Street, they reboot it or make a requel, like a direct sequel to the first film or a direct sequel to the third film. I hope it's just the first film, because I would like to get Nancy Heather Langenkamp back as well. And if you know, in Dream Warriors, she dies, but you know, I would like both of them to come back in some capacity. But I would also like it to be like a passing of the torch, kind of like like the new Candyman did. You know, it was like the whole movie, this guy was slowly turning into the new Candyman, and it could be similar fashion with a Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, I always thought about this idea of like Robert come back. He's not as strong as he used to be because not many people remember him. But when Robert comes back in the makeup, keep it like the very first Nightmare on Elm Street movie where Freddy's like in the shadows and you just kind of see his eye between, like, you know, in the boiler room, like look peeking, and you know, you never get like a clear shot of what he looks like. You know, keep Robert Englund's Freddy like that, and it would be like an homage to the original Nightmare on Elm Street. But also maybe our main character, that, you know, we come to find out later on in the movie that he was like a Krueger. He doesn't even know he's a Krueger. He's discovering this on his own too. And, you know, when these kids start dying on Elm Street, the parents and maybe the principal and all this kind of stuff, they all know the backstory of Freddy Krueger and how they took matters into their own hand and they burned them. And when these other kids start getting killed, they all think that Freddy's back, which he is. But then they also discover that this new guy that's in town, maybe he's a teacher, maybe he's a guidance counselor at the school, maybe something. and they realize that he's actually a Kruger, and he just realized he's a Kruger. So they automatically think that he's killing these kids. So they end up doing the same thing they do to him that they did to his dad. So maybe they take matters in their own hands, even though that this Kruger, our guy that we're the protagonist that we're following, didn't do these murders. It was actually Robert Englund's killing. But the town still think that because his name is Kruger, they're still going to take him out, and they kill him and they burn him, and then that makes the transition from the old Freddy to the new Freddy. And maybe like by the end of the movie, we see him rise as the new Freddy and don the glove and all this kind of stuff. Maybe there's a scene with Robert Englund and him and being like, I've grown weak. It's your time now. Whatever, not exactly word for word, but something of that nature. And then by the end of the movie, our protagonist turns into our new Kruger, and he ends up starting killing. And he's after revenge because of just what the hell happened to him and his dad and all that, because I mean, like, there was always hints that, like, there was that Freddy had a daughter and that they took his daughter from him. But who's to say he didn't have a son too? Like that, I think that's a possibility, that his son was, that maybe he was a baby and he got taken away as well because of, Freddy Krueger's actions. Same thing as the daughter, maybe they could do some explanation on the daughter as well. I don't know. But yeah, something like that. What do you think about that idea? It's still in development, but I want something like that. I want a requel. I want a direct sequel to the original. Still want Robert Englund to play Freddy in some capacity, but I also want it to be passing the torch, passing the glove to our new Freddy. Yeah. That's what I got to say about that. Yes, more live streams. Screw movie watching. Yes. I need to do some watch parties and stuff. I'm gonna be on Craven's channel next week. We talked yesterday, the day before. We had a little meeting about some stuff. We're working on a project. Can't go into it right now, but should be on some more live streams here in the next week or so. I'm gonna do more. Got to get past a wedding this weekend. Got a lot of family in town, and like I said, I'm trying to close on this house. I'm getting ready to move, but I still got a little bit of time before I move. So yeah, a lot of things going on, but I'm definitely going to do a lot more live streams for sure. Oh, we doing it again. And again. Yeah, for sure. I think I need to get some sleep, but have a good night. Definitely hope to catch some more lives soon. All right, Jacqueline. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Have a good night. Glad you came by. I understand sleep. I'm sleepy right now, but man, I'm having this thing because I've worked overnight for so long. I'm having this thing to where, like, I'm trying to adjust to nights of sleeping, and with me working overnight, like I get sleepy around this time, and I'll doze off or I'll sleep a couple hours, but then I'll wake up and I'm like wide awake. I'm just wide awake and I cannot go back to sleep. So I have to like walk around or maybe take some melatonin or something just to go back down, and it's just like it's gonna be a minute before I get my sleep schedule back on on course. Why are you moving, Destin? I am moving because I feel like there's not a whole lot of opportunities here. We can go into this real quick. Well, I've been with the job for 12 years now. I've been on nights for at least 9-10 years, and I'm a supervisor somewhere, and I've been also promised that I'm going to be the next person in line for another supervisor's spot, and for like 8-9 years, and then COVID happened, which is unfortunate for everybody and every business. I understand that, but then my cousin that was a commander at the college, he actually passed away, not from COVID. At least I don't think so. But he had bad health already, and it was all of a sudden, and it happened in 2020. in June of 2020. And I knew that they weren't going to do anything because we didn't even have students on our campus or anything. So I just let it go. I was like, man, no rush, you know. But we have been, me and another guy, that we were sergeants, and we were both promised that we were the next commanders in line. We were told by administration for years. Every meeting we ever had, it was all like, y'all are next. Y'all are next in line. And it's one reason why it kept me around. You know, I was like, all right, well, I got that to look forward to. That's a nice salary there. And commanders maybe work 16 hours a week, and they pretty much are at home and only come to campus when something happens. So anyways, so around Christmas time of 2020, you know, they were saying that we're going to try to bring back some students, you know, the spring semester, and they did. And then they tell us in a Zoom meeting that they just decided to cut that commander spot and save that money. And that didn't sit well with me. That at that point, it was like 10 years, you know, that I've been with this company, and y'all have told me and somebody else, and there's 2 commander spots. There's 2, and this was one that was gone, and they decided to just save it. They weren't going to replace it. They weren't going to fill it, nothing. And we got no significant raise or anything for our positions. We just had to do 2 jobs for the price of 1, and they just pretty much told us to take it. That's it. It is what it is, and that's what you get. And so that kind of pissed me off. And I expressed that to them and HR, and I said, you know, I don't really feel valued as an employee at this point. You know, I always felt valued here, but not now. And I know that COVID's, you know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, you don't have to feel it right now, but getting rid of it is kind of like taking away our advancement. And you did not give us a significant raise to make up the difference of us doing 2 jobs for the price of 1. And so I expressed that. And then I asked about the other commander position. I said, hey, what are you going to do with this position? You know, he's up in age. He's been here for 30 plus years. What happens when he retires, or, you know, worst case scenario, he passes away, because his health isn't the greatest either? And they said, well, that's a big possibility. We've been taking it into consideration, and we're probably going to cut that too. I was like, huh. So what am I supposed to do here? How am I supposed to take this? And they were just kind of like, yeah, I know, it's just what we decided to do, and all that. And it didn't sit well with the sergeants. And so the other sergeants are older than me, so I'm like the youngest supervisor there pretty much. And but still, even if I didn't get it, I felt like the other sergeant should have gotten it, but they don't even have that opportunity either. Now, if they cut both of them, they're going to cut the other one as well. So why am I staying? Where's the incentive here? And for the longest, I just kind of was looking for an out, I guess, like something better. That was the day that my going above and beyond kind of like dissipated. And yeah, and it's crazy. And there's other stuff that happens there that, you know, that I'm not going to get into, but it started going downhill. Let's just say that. And I held on for another couple of years, trying to make the best of it, hoping that they would give us a raise. Didn't look like it was going to happen, you know, and it just kind of was, it was, I was just like, man, I'm just done. And then, so anyways, long story short, and then I want better opportunity. I want more opportunities. And then also that our housing market is insane right now, y'all. It's crazy. And if you do own a house or some type of property, like, get it appraised and see what you're sitting on, because my house now is crazy for what it is, from what I got it for. You know, I'm not going to go into numbers, but what I got it for to what it's worth to today. And I've been in this house for about 5 years now, and it's insane. So I told myself, you know what, I'm going to make this transition. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to listen to Drunk Freddy. He said, get the fuck out of Memphis. I'm getting the fuck out of Memphis. So I put my house on the market, and we got offers like within days, and finally took one. And when it's all said and done, we're going to walk away with a good chunk of change. Like it's up there. So I figured, hey, take this. This is good for the move. And I'm going to move to the Dallas area. And that's where Texas Frightmare is at. I'm going to get more involved with that. And yeah, I'm going to take this risk. You know, I listen to Dave Ramsey. I listen to a bunch of financial advisors and stuff like that. And I'm big into crypto. I'm big into stocks. And I want to benefit off of this market. And if I'm going to sell it, I'm going to sell it now, because this time next year, they're building a lot of houses now. And I really think that houses are going to drop at least like 30-40% of what they are right now once things get back to normal. The Fed is bringing up interest rates, and it's crazy right now. Everything's crazy. Inflation is insane right now, but definitely the housing market's going to come down. And so I just wanted to benefit off of it as much as I can. So if I'm going to sell the house, I might as well do it now or never. So yeah, sold it, and I quit my job. And that's it. That is it. And I hope it all works out. All right. Sorry to get into all that, but you asked. Yeah, the VIP passes, I think, were over $300. Yeah, they weren't cheap. I think they might have been more than that, man. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Okay, yeah, you did get me an autograph. And yeah, it's still with you. Yeah, next time you come down, man, bring that. I would love to meet the screen cut. Yeah, it was really cool because I had my 4 West shirt on, and the subscribe to Destination Station on my back. And when I went in, like the photo ops on Friday, Robert and Heather Langenkamp first. Heather saw my shirt, and she was like, I love that shirt, 4 West. I love that so much. And talked to Heather for a minute, and I told her, I was like, you're like one of the best Final Girls. Between you and Sydney, Wes knew how to make Final Girls, and y'all are fighters, and y'all are the best Final Girls there ever was. That's the way I look at it. And she was like, oh, thank you. I really love that shirt, blah, blah, blah. And then I did a photo op with the Screamcast, all 4, Skeet, Matthew, Jamie, and Nev. And Nev and Jamie also noticed my shirt, and they're like, oh, dude, like, and they were like, man, they should have like marketed the Scream 5 film with shirts like that. Like, that should be merch. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. I was like, that's why I made it, because it's simple and it gets to the point. And like, I had so many people compliment me on it. Everybody else is wearing like, Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. And like, I just didn't want to. I like to be unique. I do. I like to be a little unique. And yeah. And plus, I'm going to make more shirts like that, and I'm going to do merch on my channel and everything. So yeah, here soon in the future. Nick, I remember telling Brad that he scared the shit out of me as a child. He looked me in the eye, went to Chucky mode, and asked, "Then why the hell were you watching it?" Yeah. I remember him saying that because I was right behind you in line. Man, Brad Dourif is funny. Between him and his daughter, what's his daughter's name? Remind me. I know her name. Why do I want to say it? It's not Sophie? What? Man, I cannot think of her name right now. Let me know in the comment section. Yeah, Brad Dourif is funny. He's great. Then can see you, Jamie, and Kincaid in the intro of your vid. Yeah. They can see. Oh, yeah. In the intro of my videos, you can see Jamie Kennedy and Ken Sagios, who was Kincaid in Dream Warriors. Yeah, they're in the opening of my videos now. So, yeah, I should have Jamie Kennedy on the show very soon. Still working out the schedule on that. So, yeah, subscribe to Destination Station. Hit this like button and hit that bell to be notified every time I go live or upload a video. Yeah, I should have said that a long time ago, right? I wish we didn't lose Randy, Derek, and Dude. I know, man. Oh man, just think about what could have been if we got more, especially Randy and Dewey from Scream 2 when they're in the ice cream shop. That back and forth. If I'm a suspect, then you're a suspect. Okay, let's move on. If we got more of that, like them buddying up, doing like a buddy cop, type thing throughout Scream 3 and Scream 4 and Scream 5, like I just wanted Randy should at least live till the end of Scream 3. He should have been the big death in Scream 3, like at the end, or something. Um, yeah. New Nightmare, the Scream franchise, people. After this, whatever they get to do, I hope Stu Macher is back. I hope he's the mastermind. I've made plenty of videos on that. But hopefully that's where it goes. But after this, man, I think it would be so awesome. And you could still respect Wes Craven if you knew Nightmare the Scream franchise and you let the original cast from the first film, even Rose McGowan, Jamie Kennedy, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, everybody can come back to play. And now it's like we're in the real world, and they're not Nev. They're not Sydney. They're Nev. It's not Dewey. It's David. They're playing themselves. But somebody loves, instead of the stab movies, they love the Scream movies, and somebody is actually killing them. And the first person you're going to suspect is Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard. But no, they're actually like the good guys. Like no, they're not the same people as they were in the movies. I think that would be so cool and original. It's not really original because of Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but it makes sense, and it feels like it would work in the Scream universe. I want that back so bad, and it's a reason to bring everybody back that we love and we miss. What do you think about that idea? I've made videos on that too. Devin Sawa said on Twitter that he will be in Chucky season 2 as a brand new character. I know, that happened right after I met him. So I don't know if he knew that information when I met him, because I saw that like a week after Frightmare. And I was like, oh, he's actually coming back. So he either lied to me or he couldn't say anything, maybe an NDA or something. But yeah, he's coming back. But he's playing a brand new character. At least they're bringing him back. Even in the screen, even in the Chucky panel, they were like, where's Devin? He should be a part of this panel. Someone should go get Devin. That was kind of weird that they didn't have him on it either. Which I think Devin got added to the guest list very late, like right before Texas Frightmare even took place. So he was like, so maybe they already had like the panel and everything scheduled and stuff, and maybe they just didn't add him to it. So yeah. Yes, she did. She could not believe it. She could not believe that she was FaceTimed by Devin Sawa. He even blew her a little kiss. She talked about that all the time. It was funny. I knew that'd get her. Yeah, MJ ran it down, really threw me off. Man, still, I remember the moment I saw that on screen whenever I was younger, and I was like, no, this is not happening right now. I was like, this is bullshit. This is some baby back bullshit. Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, Killjoy Jake's in the house. What's up, man? How's it going? Oh man, we got to do another live stream, man. You can take some shots and do some workouts. I was worried about you on that one. I was like, has anyone checked on Jake? That was a fun night, though. Definitely a fun night. Welcome to prime time. Yeah. If I could have got Robert Englund to say welcome to prime time, bitch, or something like that for my channel, oh man, that would have been so awesome. I kept trying to get something out of Robert Englund for what is it, the Stranger Things season 4 that's about to drop. Apparently he's supposed to be the new antagonist, and they're supposed to show a lot of homages to A Nightmare on Elm Street is what I'm reading on. And he would not tell me anything. He's like, you got to watch it. It's great. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Oh yeah, you just said that necessary. Yep, I did. And he just could not say anything, but he he said you got to watch it. You got to watch it. It's going to be great. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. It's the ending of Stranger Things, and they're saying that like the last few episodes are like feature length, like an hour and a half or something like that. For like 7, 8, 9, and 10 are like an hour and a half each. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It looks good. The production value, that trailer is awesome, and it's been a long time since we had Stranger Things, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Killjoy's in the house. Rawhead. Oh damn, he's done changed his name. Rawhead Nick. That sounds kind of dirty. Yeah, it will. It'll take a while for me to get used to this schedule. I'm so used to being a night owl, but I can also do live streams with y'all. You know, it gives me more time to spend time with y'all. That's what it's all about. Fiona, I said Sophia, didn't I? Or Sophie or something. Yeah, Fiona Dorff. Yeah, her laugh. She sounds so like her dad. Like, and her the father daughter dynamic that they are with each other is so funny. It's so funny. Like, someone would ask like Brad Dorff, um, what was it like? Did you ever meet any of the cast of the movie? And he's like, oh, well, and he's just sitting back in his chair like this. And she's like, you got to speak into the mic, Dad. He's like, what? Oh, and he like finally says something into the mic. It's funny. It was so funny how they had that going. Oh. All right, Nick. Good night, bro. Glad you stopped in. Later, man. I see you on the flip side. Yeah, New Nightmare and the Scream idea. Oh, I just think what could be, and that Jamie Kennedy would love to come back. They would all love to come back. It would just work. Or even if it's not even connected, like if it's its own standalone thing, like what Scream's New Nightmare was, I'm okay with that. It can just be just a one-off. It can just be something that we get because they're all getting up in age. Um, I think after this trilogy, they need to do it for sure. And they could even have the setting like at a convention, don't you think? Like that would be cool if they had like they were at a convention, they were stuck in a hotel, and maybe it was after hours or something, and like people actually started getting killed at the convention, and they're stuck in this place. Like it goes on lockdown because somebody in the hotel is the killer. Kind of crazy, huh? Uh, oh, you helped Nick. Okay, cool. Yep, man. Yeah. What else happened at Texas Frightmare? I've been all over the place tonight. Thanks for bearing with me. Hit that like button if you haven't already. That'd really help out my channel. Hopefully, I can get this YouTube stuff taken care of and this monetization because it's getting old going back and forth with them. Let's see. So Friday when we got there, I tried to get a room booked. I did, and and they were crazy expensive, and there was nothing available. So I was just like, oh, it shouldn't be that hard, just sleeping in my car for one night in the parking garage. And it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And and then I couldn't even check in till Saturday at 3 p.m. So it was like all day long just waiting. And then they didn't have my room ready at the time for me to check in. It was more closer to like 4 o'clock. And so, but yeah, once we got settled in, it was great. It was really great. And hanging out with Lance, it was so funny. Let me tell you this about Lance real quick. Lance Hendrickson. When I first meet him and I see Nick talking to Lance at the table, and I decided to sit down, he shows me what he just ordered, and he said, man, what is this vegan shit? And he ordered like a Frito pie or something, and their food was crazy expensive. And it looked like they opened up a bag of Frito chips and then threw like some some cheese and red sauce on it with no meat, and they called it like this vegan type thing. And he's like, "This is some bullshit." He said, "I'm not eating this shit." It was funny, man. And then he just started talking about his ex-wives, and he's like, "Man, they always know when I'm doing a convention because, they always want some money." He's like, "I would make a movie to where I killed my ex-wives," or something like that, like hit him with a car or something. I was like, "Damn, Lance, you want me to write that real quick? You want to star in it? I'll write it." um, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. He's a funny guy. It was like, you ever seen that movie Grumpy Old Man? That's how it felt. That's how Robert and Lance feeding off each other and being goofy together. I was like, man, this is like the horror version of Grumpy Old Man. That's the way it felt. So yeah. uh, where was the convention at? Is the convention at a hotel? Oh yeah. Yeah, it was at a hotel. It was at the Hyatt Regency near the airport of Dallas. So yeah, I think they're normally at hotels. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know where they're at, but that one's always at the same place as far as I know. So I'm going to offer my help, like any type of volunteer work. It's networking for me, and I'm going to try to get Mike Vaughn, the voice of Brandon James on the Scream TV series that was on my channel that I interviewed the other day. I'm going to try to get him a spot, and hopefully I can. And he's offered like 10% of everything that he makes, that weekend. And I was like, dude, you don't have to give me anything. I just want to help. I just want to be a part of it and network. That's it. So hopefully I can do that. That'd be awesome. That'd be really great. So yeah. And then Saturday is so packed. It is so packed on Saturday. It's insane. It's assholes to elbows. And I knew it was going to be like that. So that's why I did my photo ops on Friday, and then Saturday it was so chaotic. And some people need to have some deodorant. That's for sure. If you can afford a pass to go to Texas Frightmare, you can afford to buy a stick of deodorant and use it. That's all I'm saying. Some of that shit will knock you on your ass. And I know some people can't help it. I'm not trying to, throw any shade or anything like that. But yeah, it's tough, especially Saturday because you're just stuck in the crowd. Um, so yeah, I met Skeet Ulrich as well. He was really cool. He's a lot shorter than I expected. Um, I met Matthew Lillard down at the hotel bar, but I did not go through his line. It was always insane. And I don't know why. I got sidetracked. I guess hanging out with Lance and Robert just kind of sidetracked me from doing a lot of stuff. But it's okay. It's all right. I'll have my chance to meet Matthew and get some of my Scream stuff signed then. But like I said, like a signature is cool and everything, but I would rather hang out with these guys and share stories and take some insight and just learn about life and take some advice from them. Um, yeah, Mike Vaughn, he does seem cool and down to earth. He's really cool. He's really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much my weekend. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything. Nick's already went to bed, so I don't think he can remind me of some stuff if I'm missing it. If I'm missing it, there will be a part 2 of this live stream. But yeah, those were pretty much the highlights. There was a Stu 90s party that was downstairs. And I was dressed like Stu with the robe and the sweater and all that kind of stuff. I do some videos with that outfit. Um, really cool. They did a costume contest. I did not get in the costume contest because there were some that were like amazing, and that's on my Texas Frightmare channel video that I uploaded of the whole costume contest. Like there's some really cool ones there. And what was also cool is Matthew Lillard came out and was like, anybody that was, has a disability or is handicapped or it's really having a hard time getting around, let them come to the front of the line. That was really cool. Much respect. That I gained a lot of respect for Matthew Lillard for that. That was really cool. And then the next night was karaoke. We went down there for a little bit, but we didn't stay long. And yeah, it was just crazy. And then Sunday was just panels. I spent like all day in like the first one was the Scream panel. And not to toot my own horn here, but I remember walking through. I went to the restroom and then I was walking back through and I heard someone say, "Is that Destination Station?" And I did meet a couple people there that recognized me and that, was asking me about the Scream stuff and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of weird. I was like, wow, you actually watch my stuff. Cool. But someone did ask about the Stew Train. I remember that. And Jamie Kennedy was like, "There's a train?" It was funny. So yeah, it was like the Scream panel, Nightmare on Elm Street panel, the Chucky panel, and then after that it was the Alice Krige, the lady from Sleepwalkers, and she was the mother in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix, and she played in some Star Trek stuff. I kind of dipped on that one because it was I could barely understand half the stuff. She was so light spoken, and there wasn't many people in there, and I was so tired, and I was really wanting to just go take a nap. And then I go upstairs and I meet Nick, and he's sitting there with Lance again. So I decided to sit there and at least have a beer before I go upstairs and kind of call it a day. And next thing you know, Robert Englund comes out of nowhere, and the rest is history. It's like, nope, not going anywhere. I just woke up. But yeah, that's it. That is my experience, everybody. I know we only got like 2 people in here now. I'm probably going to go ahead and call it a night. It's almost midnight here, and I appreciate everybody that came by, liked this video, and if you're watching this on repeat, smash that like button and subscribe to Destination Station. And if I'm missing anything, I'm sorry. I'm a little tired, but I did want to get this out here. I've been meaning to make this video, and there will be a part 2 if I'm forgetting some stuff. I'm sure Rawhead Nick will let me know something. But I got to hit the sack too. I got a long day tomorrow. I got a long weekend. I'm tired of doing stuff. Y'all ever get tired of just doing stuff? Like, can there just be a day of where I don't have anything to do and I can do whatever I want or not do anything at all? That would be freaking fantastic. All right. Anyways, subscribe to Destination Station, like this video, and hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a video and go live. Thank you for coming by and spending some time with me, and expect more live streams in the very future. So yeah, probably do a couple over the weekend. I'm not sure what I got one planned out. I'll schedule it tomorrow, but I have another one that I'm considering doing, so I don't know. We'll see what happens if I can squeeze in some time, because it is a busy weekend. I got to be at a wedding and all that. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm heading out. Thank you for coming through, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace. Have a good night. Good night, everybody. Yeah, I feel you. Everyone have a good night. All right. Take care.